I'm ready to start creating my new document. I'm going to go to File, New, Blank File, or I can use my keyboard, click on Control-N. In the name, I'm going to put in 4 shapes. My width is always going to be in inches. My width is 7 inches. My height will be 5 inches. Resolution is 300. I need to make sure that my color mode does not say grayscale. I need to pull that down to make sure it says RGB color. That means I have all the colors of the rainbow. And I'll click on OK. So I've got this piece of paper in front of me, and I'm going to start putting in some different types of shapes. This right here is my custom shape tool. Sometimes it's different shapes, so right now it looks like a rectangle, but it's this little blue icon right here. If I click on that icon, I can see a few different shapes down here. These are great to keep something very simple. For example, I can use this rectangle, click, drag, I've got my shape, it's looking gray. I can always change that. This is my undo button. I can make that go away very easily. This is my custom shape tool, and it looks like this little ink blob. If I click on that one, and then this box right here, if I click in this box, then I get this window to open up. And so I have some custom shapes that I can look to use. However, as I'm looking at this list, I'm thinking this is pretty limiting. So instead of being on the default, I can click, and I have a lot of different options here. I can go to characters, I can go to animals, I can go to all these different things, or I can also go scroll through all these, and I can go to all elements and shapes, and I went from just a very, very few pictures. Now I have lots and lots. So I can scroll down, and once I have a shape that I like, then I am going to click on it. And then since I have that selected, I'm going to click and drag. So I've got this little teardrop looking shape over here, and I want to move it. And this is my move tool over here, this little plus sign. So if I click on the move tool, and I have these boxes, when these boxes are up there, that tells me that that area is selected, that I can move it. So I can move it from left to right all over the place. I can also go to the corners, making it smaller. I can make it a lot larger. I'm going to put 4 shapes on here, so I want to kind of leave some space on here to be able to change where things are located. So if I go over here to the corners and I pull the mouse just slightly away from the corner, it kind of looks like it has this bent arrow. If I click and drag it to the left and right, I can turn my shape to the left or right. And once I have it set where I want it, I can either click on this check mark or I can double click. Okay, so right now that looks rather gray and rather boring, so I'm going to change that. This is where I'm going to be able to do that. If I go over here to the right side of my screen down here, this is my effects, and this window pops up to the side, and on my effects and styles, right now it's just set at bevels, and bevels are great, but I'd rather actually go to, how about complex? I have a lot more options over here. I can scroll through any of these. If I find one that I like, then I can double click on it, and then it gets a little bit more exciting. I can go to other things too. Now it's layering different effects on top of one another. I can always use my undo button, or I can right click on the shape and go to clear layer style. Right, so I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to put that on there, and I'm going to add 3 more shapes. So I go back over here to my custom tool, and right now it's still on this raindrop. If I click on there, how about a moon shape? And it's still doing the same purple. Right here I can change that. Over here I can go to remove style. So now it looks rather gray and boring, but that's okay because I can always change that. I'm going to go back over here to my custom shape tool, and I'm going to pick 3 different shapes besides what I have going on here, and then I need one more. How about the bell? So if I click and drag, all right, so I want to change those because they're looking rather boring. So if I go over here to my move tool, that's that plus sign, I can make things a lot taller, or smaller. For this particular project, I'm not going to want to overlap anything. And I'm going to put my vanishing point in the center or really close to the center, so I'm going to leave this space kind of open. So I'll put that bell right here, double click on there, choose some kind of effect or style on there, go back to my puzzle piece. I'm thinking gold will look really nice. One thing I think would be kind of fun with all of these, if I go to, if I'm on my move tool, and I can go back over here to complex, so I go to show all, then over here I can double click there on the very top of the list. It starts off with this green abstract fire it's called, but then if I go scroll down a little bit, I have got these little black strokes. If I double click, I think that looks kind of nice. I'm going to put some black lines on all of these. And I'm also going to put the same thing over here. And the reason why is just because I'm going to use my pencil tool to start creating a vanishing point. So I'm going to move my mouse over here to my color picker. And if I click on the top box, then this area will open up, or this window will open up. And it's on right here on this gray. I can either slide this up or down to go any which way that I like. And I can click anywhere in here. Now, just because I've chosen this green area does not mean I'm on the green color, because my mouse is still on this little gray area. So I need to actually click within here to find the exact green that I want or the exact blue that I want. For me, I'm just going to pick something simple. I'm just going to go with black, and I'm going to click on OK. Before I start actually putting any pencil tool lines on here, I need to lock down all these shapes because right now they are in layers. That means that I can still move them. I can click on my move tool and still move things around. So I have to decide exactly where I want them to go, and I'm going to commit to a spot. Once I've done that, I'm going to go to the very top of my screen and go to Layer, Flatten Image. So once again, when I want to move things around, I can still move them. But when I flatten the image, that will be kind of like super gluing them down. So I'm going to go to Layer, Flatten the Image. So now when I take my move tool, I'm going to get this. Message. So everything is locked down. Now I'm going to take my pencil tool and I'm going to change the size of my brush. I can scroll that to the left or to the right. I'm just going to keep it kind of simple, somewhere between 15 and 20 pixels. So if I'm going to just click on a spot, and that's going to be my vanishing point. All of my lines are going to go towards this vanishing point. So I'm going to start up at the top of this teardrop. If I click once on my mouse, I hold Shift, and then I unclick my mouse, and then I click it again when I'm over here, then it'll follow me because I'm holding the Shift. So let me try that again over here. I'm going to click, hold Shift, move my mouse to the vanishing point, and click again. So some of these shapes, you're going to have to kind of guesstimate exactly where you want them to go. So I'm going to use the top of this bell, click, hold Shift, click again. I'm going to use the bottom of this bell over here, click, hold Shift, and click again. All the lines are going towards this vanishing point. So this moon over here is where I'm really going to have to do a lot of guesstimating. Click, hold Shift, just because some shapes are just a little bit on the strange and awkward side. And so this one is kind of on the weird side. And so I'm just going to kind of guesstimate where I want that line to be. Same thing over here with this puzzle. I'm going to find a spot where I want the line to click, hold Shift, and go to the vanishing point. Now this one, I'm going to go from all the corners, click, hold Shift. I'm going to do the same thing over here, click, hold Shift, and I put all my lines towards the vanishing point.